TV Takeover. How are all of you doing tonight? How are all of you doing? Good. Great. I'm Adia Morris, and you are about to experience something different on TPT, your local public television station. We've asked 5 of the Twin Cities' most daring and inventive, creative folks to take over our air. And for the next hour, one of them is about to do just that. It's all part of TV Takeover, a 5-part broadcast event that you can attend in person. Like all these wonderful people here. Yes? Yes. Like all these wonderful people here live in our studio tonight. You can also stream the series online at tvtakeover.net or watch on that little box in your living room. Today's partner is the incredible Springboard for the Arts. Please cheer for them. We asked them to make some TV for us, and they chose the theme, Your Secret Art. So you'll be hearing lots more about them in the next hour. Follow along on Twitter using the hashtag TV Takeover, and you can see your tweets popping up on that screen, on your TV screen, throughout the broadcast. But before we get any further, let's hear what Springboard for the Arts is all about.
Hi, welcome to Springboard for the Arts. And I'd love to welcome you to our offices here in beautiful Lower Town, St. Paul. Springboard for the Arts is a community and economic development organization that is run by and for artists. So if you come into Springboard, you'll find all sorts of odd, creative people working here, providing resources to people, artists. Anyone who calls themselves an artist is welcome here at Springboard.
Being an artist is a really complicated thing. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration, and usually in a traditional training as an artist, there's only a small portion of that is put across. So even if an artist knows how to compose a song or write a paragraph or mix paint, they may not know many of the other things that you need to take into consideration making a living as an artist. You know, where to find health insurance, how to scan a slide, how to write a grant, how to write an artist statement. And it's those things that we help with.
If an artist were to come up and ask me what Springboard did, my first question would be, well, what kind of artist are you and what are your goals? Because I feel like that's where everything starts. Springboard offers a lot of different services, and not everybody needs all of those services. So to hear a laundry list of things that we could provide is usually not as helpful as finding out what people really want. Which is another thing I love about Springboard, is that we always start with whatever the individual or the small organization's goals are and work from there.
Artists are already fantastic. They're primed to be amazing business owners. They're super creative, they're risk takers, they love to partner, they love to engage on a very human level, and that's the baseline, and everything we do in the community through Springboard is going up from there.
It's important for people to have a place to come, and a place where they feel that they can gather, and a place where they feel like they can get guidance if they need it in a really non-judgmental, really friendly kind of way.
I run the Springboard office in Fergus Falls, which is in west central Minnesota, about 2.5 hours north of the Twin Cities. So we've been here now for almost 3 years, And we do everything that the Springboard office does in St. Paul. So we do professional development workshops, consultations, but we've also really become a hub in the community for just more creative thinking. It's challenging being a rural artist for a number of reasons. It can be a little more solitary being an artist in a rural community and just a little more isolating. So just being able to run into other creative people. So here, I mean, one of the things that Springboard really values is that when we do our workshops, it's not just about teaching them skills, but it's actually about bringing artists together so they can meet each other and find ways to collaborate.
The thing I love about the way Springboard thinks about artists and the way I get to work with artists is treating artists as professionals, as you would with any other person who is running their own business. Artists are so creative and so interested in problem solving, and it's very cool to get to tap into that, especially when the problem that you're solving is about what their next steps are in their career.
I tell artists that they should come to Springboard, one, because it's awesome and fun here, and we're real, we're artists, you know, so we're very human and we understand their position, but we're also very brass tacks. And so when people say, oh, I've heard of you guys are so much fun, or somebody said I should really talk to you about this very serious thing in my life, then we say, yeah, come on in, let's talk about that. It'll be fun.
You know, we're this place where people feel comfortable to come in for advice, to be able to do the work, but then have us nearby if they hit a stumbling block. And yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I wish that I had had something like this when I was first thinking about my own career. And it's just different than any other career centers or workforce centers. You know, we just have a different way of doing things as artists.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Oh, that video was awesome. I love hearing about what Springboard does. So we're here with the Executive Director of Springboard for the Arts. This is Laura Zabel. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
And welcome. So the first question that I heard Molly ask on that video was, what kind of artist are you? To explain what Springboard does. So what kind of artist are you?
I am a theater artist, and everyone who works at Springboard is a practicing artist. That's kind of a unique part of being there. So we all have different and varied artistic practices that we bring to work every day.
That's very cool. What was the last artistic endeavor you did?
I was just in a play, actually, after quite a long break. So now it makes me look good, like maybe I'm practicing all the time.
That's awesome. Well, the theme for tonight's show is your secret art. Why did Springboard pick that?
We picked Your Secret Art because I think a real core value for Springboard is that we believe that everyone has creative capacity and that artists are everywhere and that all neighborhoods have artists. But sometimes that means that we have to kind of get it out of people. Not everybody is willing to claim that right away.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how would you define an artist? Like, through, let's say, 6 words if you can.
It's a big tent at Springboard. I think artists are makers, they're producers, they're creators, they're energetic questioners, and creative thinkers.
Awesome. Well, as Laura pointed out, art is all around us. Anyone you meet could have a secret artistic talent that you never knew about. To prove this to you, we found 2 local realtors who each have a unique, hidden artistic passion. Take a look.
My name is Steve Smiley. I'm a realtor.
This is Steve.
And my secret art is I'm a drummer in a band.
My name is Ephraim Eusebio. I'm a realtor. Some of these bookshelves do come with the property. And my secret art is, I do all kinds of art. I feel like Bob Ross right now.
I've been a realtor for 12 years now. Being a realtor is a great job because it's It's a really fun job. You get to help people out, find a new house or sell their house, and it's a big transaction, but it's exciting and it's fun, and you get to meet a lot of great people. I have worked with a lot of buyers and sellers from the music scene, so it's actually a huge part of my business is working with people in the music scene.
As a realtor, you have to come up with a lot of creative solutions and think on the fly. And so it is almost like improv sometimes when you're negotiating. That uses, I believe, the same part of my brain as a creative part.
The band I'm in right now is called Deep Cuts, and we're a pop-punk band. We play fairly often in smaller venues like the Triple Rock, or we play a lot of basement shows. A couple people are semi-aware, but it's my secret art, for sure. I try and keep it that way. I'm a drummer. I don't like the attention on me. I'm happy to sit in back and let somebody else take all the attention.
I found that if I don't have art in my life, I'm pretty miserable. I can be grumpy and feel like I'm not being able to express myself fully. I think the key is to just let yourself be yourself as much as possible.
The job that I have can be very stressful. It eats up a lot of time. And so you gotta have something else to do. It helps you step back and kind of re-energize.
I think everybody is creative in many different ways, and I feel like it's our nature to create and make art, whether it be knitting or cooking or painting your car or whatever. It's important for people to get their individualized expression out.
Here. We're standing in front of this, and I want to know what it is, but I can't seem to find the artist. Where might he be? Oh, there he is. Hi. Welcome, welcome. So everyone, this is Peter Hoken Thompson, and he is the artist, the creator of this piece. Peter, what is this?
It's called an expeditionary conversation tent.
Okay. Say that again one more time.
It's called an expeditionary conversation tent, and the idea is that someone checks it out for me. They're in my garage in South Minneapolis, and uses it for a conversation that they want to have.
Okay, well that sounds like we were saying earlier, it sounds like a very Minnesotan thing, needing to have a special place to have a difficult conversation.
Yeah, or an easy one. You can have an easy one.
Oh, you can have an easy one. Okay, good, good. Oh, well, so how did this come about for you? What was the inspiration for this?
Well, I like tents, I like expeditions, and I'm also a fairly shy person, and so I was trying to figure out, a lot of my art is about making tools that make it easier for me to have conversation or other people to have conversation. So, you know, it's like if I make a tent that says conversation, then I can have conversation
you have
easily.
Some parameters around that.
Yeah.
How often do people rent these from you?
I have 6 of them, and they're probably like 2 to 3 rented per month. So, yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome. Well, maybe we can have a conversation in there later tonight.
Yes.
Hey, no. Okay.
Anyone, have a conversation.
On that note, I'm going to go over here and talk to Susan Hirschmuller. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Susan is the creator of this piece right here. And so, did I say your name right? Susan Hirschmugel?
Hirschmugel, that's
right.
right,
Okay.
yes.
Susan is, and we're standing in front of this pole, so come step forward, There we go. She's the creator of this piece right here. And what is this? Tell me about this one.
So this is the Spark It, and it's a pop-up park. And so the idea, I've been working this past year as an artist organizer with the Trust for Public Land through Springboard for the Arts.
Yeah.
And creating conversations about how to get more green spaces along University Avenue, along the Green Line. And so the trailer was created as the end of my work as a solo project. And the idea is to take it out and have conversations with people again about what makes great green space.
That's very cool. So I heard that there's something you can open up in the back here.
Well, you can open up the inside, but my favorite part is
Yes.
the back because it pops open.
Oh.
And it can become a toy. Right now it's got lots of games and adventure things. Sometimes it has art projects. Things in picnic baskets.
Candyland, yes.
Sometimes it's a snack shelf and other kinds of things. There's also a PA system inside, so we can have dance parties if we want to.
Oh, wait, is this rentable? This one?
This also can go out and it travels around on the Green Line, but travels to other places as well. Tomorrow it will be at Open Streets in North Minneapolis.
Very cool. I know, yes, round of applause. Well, I would like to play Jenga later. So just like we're witnessing firsthand in our studio tonight, art can happen anywhere at any time. In fact, Springboard for the Arts put together a series of pop-up performances in libraries around the cities to give people a taste of art in unusual spaces.
I'm Tommy Morse.
And I'm Carrie Shaw. And we're Glorious Revolution.
We just played a little concert in this library.
It's exciting, it's intimidating too, because you have all these people and you don't know what they think of this. We're just accidentally in the same orbit for 10 minutes. And I hope that what they do is they walk away and they say, I've never seen that before. My world just expanded by a few degrees.
I think the role of libraries not only being informative, but to have a little entertainment, have the kids take their mind off from work and study, just to take your mind off of things a little bit.
Pretty cool experience dancing in the libraries. First time dancing in the library, and it was really awesome to see everyone's reactions. Just a setting like this, I think it's really cool how we're evolving the arts now, how it's all meshing together.
It was unexpected. I did not know they was going to be dancing in the library, but it was cool. It was entertaining. Yeah. Doing my resume, it was very entertaining. It caught me off guard, but it was really cool. I liked it. It caught my attention. It was great. They did an awesome job.
We're all working together as a community now.
Flamenco now. Well, we are back. I am back with Laura, and Laura, thank you for joining me again. So, you know, I have a couple questions for you about this whole business of making art. And so when you're making art as you're living, it can mean that running a business can be really challenging. How does that all work for people?
Right. Artists need a lot of things. Artists are often self-employed and they have to kind of run things themselves. They have to be entrepreneurs and small business owners. So Springboard does a lot of things to help artists make a living and a life, including business skills training and also healthcare. We actually are a navigator and outreach partner for MNsure this year, which is kind of an unusual role for an arts organization, but one that's important.
All right, cool. And you know, what do you wish artists knew more about before they started the business of art? What do you wish they knew?
You know, I think if there's one thing that I wish artists knew, it is that there are a lot of different definitions of success. And there are a lot of different ways to be an artist. And I think the most important thing an artist can do is find that definition of success for themselves. Sometimes that's making a living, but sometimes it's recognition or social change or connection to your community.
Yeah. Like watching a flamenco performance on TV. That's pretty cool. Well, what are the ways that Springboard helps? How can they help artists create their art and run their business?
We say that we make programs that help artists make a living and a life, and programs that help communities connect to artists. And that's all about building reciprocal relationships between artists and their communities. So sometimes that's coming into the office and getting help with a business plan. And sometimes it's getting help with healthcare, and sometimes it's getting help building a relationship with a community group so that you can do something in your own neighborhood that is meaningful and relevant.
Yeah, very cool. Well, as Laura mentioned, as she said, running a business and supporting that art, it can be a really tricky balance to maintain. So, luckily, Springboard knows a lot about, they know a lot of talented people in the community who are willing to let you in on their secrets. Let's find out.
I'm Anna Metcalf, and I'm a ceramic artist. My work tends to be about environmental issues and food systems. The ceramic object is a vehicle for conversation, and I love that it's an object that is accessible, so it makes people understand and relate to the object itself.
I'm Janaki Rampura, and I design theatrical experiences for public spaces and for stages, and use intimate experiences as well as big visual elements to do that.
I'm the T of Two Dance. My name is Tony Pierce-Sands, and I'm also the artistic director.
I am the U of Two Dance. My name is Yuri Sands. I am artistic director.
We live and breathe the dance, and we've grown into choreographers and teachers.
Have you planned your career?
Yes, I've done everything I planned. No.
I think I'm the inadvertently anarchist daughter of two doctors. They did not understand what I was doing and still struggle with it. But why have I continued to pursue it is the question. And the work that I do, and probably the reason I do so many different aspects of things, is because I'm always looking to go to the limits of what I'm able to do and able to know. And I'm sure there are many fields where you can do that constant pursuit of boundaries, but art stands out as a really obvious one, where artists live at the boundaries and margins of exploring how and what we know as humans.
Calling it a job can be really helpful to artists, and I like to think of the creative, the design work, the really important creative processes as being alpha time, and then there are other things that are important to be done but that they don't require my peak mental energy, and those are beta time. So organizing first all of the alpha activities in my week, making sure that they are in place before I fill in the rest of the activities.
For one who might say that the art isn't really a profession, because you love to do it. I would challenge that by just simply saying is that when you have something that you've been gifted at doing, you have an enormous responsibility to that gift. And that requires enormous work, whether you are mathematicians and great with numbers, or you could be an incredibly agile athlete, or you could be a professional dancer. It's actually more work. If I didn't love what I was doing, then I could just clock in, clock out. I don't have to think about it. I don't go home and sleep, or I don't wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. But dance, I do.
I find that having a business plan is helpful because it helps me establish priorities, and it also legitimizes, in a way, the fact that my art practice is a business. Having a business plan is like having an itinerary, and the aspects of an itinerary that are important, I think, are a timeline and a destination. And once you know what your destination is and you know how long it's going to take you to get there, then it's pretty clear what your map is going to look like, what your course is going to be.
A good friend of ours said to us once, "A dream without a plan is a wish." So I think now part of our makeup and part of our foresight is about laying out some sort of pillars, laying out some sort of foundational work. If you could find a way to articulate in numbers what you would in a narrative or any sort of like written proposal, that would be ideal, because it allows for you to really see in a concrete way what it might take to ultimately pull it off.
So being an artist is a complicated psychological balancing act, and having a mentor is having someone who is like a professional parent, someone that you can turn to ask the really basic things that it feels like everybody else knows that you don't know yet. I think when I was younger, I thought that mentors would find me, but I've come to realize that you need to cultivate them as much as you want them to cultivate you.
The advice I would give to any artist that's just starting out, who's trying to build a successful career in the arts, is to surround yourself with the people who have done it before. Find a way to engage with those who have already taken the road that you're trying to take. Let them guide you a little bit, all without ever losing the sole purpose of why you want to go after the vision that you have.
Again with Laurel and also with Junli Huang, who is also a member, an employee of Springboard for the Arts. Junli, what do you do?
At Springboard, I'm the artist community organizer, so I run our community development programs, which connect artists to communities.
Very cool, and I think this thing behind us is related. We've got a friend here that I didn't introduce, but we'll get to him later. So give us a quick rundown of what Irrigate is, which is what we're here to talk about.
Right, sure. Irrigate is a program that mobilizes local artists to connect with community challenges. And in the case in St. Paul, it was really the construction of our light rail line and how to deal with that for 3 years.
Okay, wow, very cool. So what were some of the biggest challenges with the whole Irrigate project, and with the light rail specifically too?
Well, it was 3 years, so it was a long time to build sort of momentum and really engage artists with different community groups and businesses. So that actually didn't, it was little bits and pieces that slowly added up to a lot of momentum.
Very cool. What were your favorite moments?
Well, a couple of favorite moments. One is when you go out with the Black Dog.
Yes.
And he sort of reminds us that the Black Dog Cafe exists in Lower Town, but everybody stops, cars pull over, people jump out to take a picture of him. So it's a lot of moments like that that are surprising, that get people out of their normal everyday shell.
Cool. With the light rail open, what's next?
Sure. One of the things that's next is actually things like Peter and Susan's projects, and how do we connect them to community groups that maybe see them on TV and then they're like, how do we get them at our event? So we're starting a project called Ready Go, and that'll be something that's come out of Irrigate.
Wonderful. Well, I will look for that. Well, let's take a look at 3 of Springboard's Irrigate projects now and learn how they helped revitalize area businesses and neighborhoods, including one project that resulted in the making of our furry friend here.
I'm Mike Fitzsimmons.
I'm John Grider.
Together we are Broken Crow. This is kind of what we specialize in, large-scale stencil murals of animals. We are in charge of designing, manufacturing, producing, and basically all of the logistics to complete a multi-location mural. We won a cultural star grant through the city of St. Paul, and we were in the planning phases of this project and the design phases, and the project just needed a little push and a little more organization, so Irrigate stepped in and helped us meet the district council members and people who could point us in the right directions of businesses that might be open to our sort of project.
Mike came to me, the artist, and he stopped in my store one day a couple months ago and he said, hey, I have money for a mural and you got a big wall out there.
We hope that the community gets stronger and becomes more organized through the things that happen with the placemaking workshops and are able to actually tackle a lot of the sort of the things that come along with really long-term construction projects.
You know, most of the graffiti artists, I think, kind of respect these artists' work or whatever, and so they won't tag your building. So I thought it was kind of a win-win for both of us. Makes my building more visible, which maybe give me more customers. Like I can tell people now that, yeah, turn from my parking lot at the Purple Hippopotamus.
Irrigate is kind of a bridge between arts organizations and people. You know, it provides training and a lot of resources to make a project. You know, you took it upon yourself to go to one of these workshops. You're going to meet all kinds of people who are like-minded, and that just kind of helps stir the pot of creativity.
I think mostly we're just really excited that the city has sort of stepped forward as being progressive enough to allow people to really try to pull off cool art projects that have a lot of potential to sort of change the way that people interact with their world. That to me is really inspiring.
Creating this big black dog that is a mascot that we're going to take on the light rail line.
We're a cafe that's about 14 years old, and we are a great destination for food and wine in a really cool old warehouse building. We see it as a way to engage the community in what we're doing, and it's, you know, been just building over the day. It's been really fascinating to just kind of watch it.
Well, I was approached from the Black Dog Cafe here, and they said, hey, we've got this program that we want to engage in, administered by Springboard for the Arts, called Irrigate, and we'd really, really like you to build us a black dog.
The idea of the project is pretty clear going into it because we knew about Chris's puppets and we knew how amazing they were and wanted to make this big, lumbering, two-body controlled puppets of a black dog as sort of a mascot for the Black Dog Cafe or coffee and wine bar in Lowertown. And Lowertown is right at the end of the light rail. And so create it with the community and then take it along the light rail train.
Nice doggy.
1, 2, 3.
Since last we talked, there's been a whole lot of making of the dog hair. The herring of the dog.
So now we're at the sort of launching of the project. We can now take what we have and hopefully take it out onto the light rail.
Remember to breathe and keep it in your hips and your knees, yeah?
We're setting him free on the tracks. It's so big, it's so monumental, and people just go, and people pulling out their cameras, and everyone's filming, and it turns the business as usual into something really fun.
People just stopped and stared, and they were like, what is this thing? And even some of the vendors were just kind of mystified, and there was a combination of delight and just sort of, you know, curiosity, and it was really fun.
Future plans for the Black Dog puppet will be to find ways to bring it along the light rail, bring it to other businesses, and hopefully get some more publicity for them along the way. We have the dog complete, but the rest of the project is putting it out there and letting other people enjoy it.
Right now I'm in a very, very bad situation. I can lose my place, you know, anytime. I have about like maybe 9 months to go before I completely lost. Because I don't make enough money to pay the bank. So the customer decrease, and besides that, some of them come here and they say, you know, even we love your food, we love your restaurant, but you know, I'm sorry, we own the construction, you know, it took me like 45 minutes to come here. We are suffering right now.
One of the things that I feel very passionate about is the power of the arts to change lives and to move people and to make things happen. And so the intersection between the arts and the cultural and economic vitality of the Avenue just seemed like a great fit.
Mira come and introduce herself to me. Then she said she would like to introduce her music. A lot of the people around here in this community likes, you know, jazz, and so they come back like today, you know, they come back for to see her and her husband play because, you know, they really like it.
This is a project that is an Irrigate for the Arts project, and I went to one of the placemaking workshops in March, and one of the things they asked us to do was to brainstorm about some ideas that we might have. And I immediately thought of Jazz on the Line because I thought what a great idea to have music all up and down this corridor from Minneapolis to downtown St. Paul, places where people could listen to music, hop on the train, go to another place, listen to music.
First, I kind of hesitate a little bit because I don't know, but now I know it and I want it.
The work of Irrigate really helps businesses. It brings in people that wouldn't otherwise come out, but also it encourages people to not forget about the businesses that are currently here during the construction.
And I think that in the long run, if this can really revitalize the community and if people can take ownership and if these placemaking projects can be some small part of that, then we will look back and have celebrated the fact that we didn't wait to make this change. And I've enjoyed getting to know Maya and her husband. We'll be definitely back here to perform again.
What's a party without some dancing? How are you guys doing tonight? How is everybody doing? Yes. Another of Springboard's Irrigate projects involved dancing along the light rail's green line. Dance instructor Diane Elaine created a dance called the Light Rail Shuffle. I'm not so good at it. Take a look. No, but I think it was on. Yeah, good job. It is very similar. Yes.
Now do the light rail shuffle, do the light. Come on. Do the light rail shuffle.
The light rail is a dance that kind of mimics the sound of the construction worker with the jackhammer and all that. You'll hear all that, but in the lyrics you'll hear me say something about the light rail corridors coming down the tracks.
Hope it's not a repeat around all the time. Make sure you fit in so you won't be left behind.
But will it benefit the people in the community this time? As a little reference to Rondo, what happened maybe 40-something years ago with the displacement of the black community in the Rondo district.
Light rails coming down the track. Light rails coming. Come on. Light rails coming down the track.
Yeah.
Light rails coming.
Ow. I got a grant from the Springboard for the Arts, the Irrigate project, which is kind of supporting businesses along the light rail corridor. And so I've been doing Zumba here since December. And tonight we're going to do it outside to commemorate the light rail shuffle. And I wrote a song called Light Rail Shuffle, which we'll be dancing to. Oh, it was great. I'm very happy. I'm so glad. I like this outdoor thing. We might have to try this again. Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
But one thing that most people here want to know is, will it help our hoods thrive and grow? Do the light rail shuffle, do the light
ultimate art to show you tonight. Maxine from Fergus Falls. Take a look.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The light rail's coming soon and fast down the line. Hope it's not a repeat around all this time. Make sure you fit in so you won't be left behind. It's got to benefit the people this time. Do the light rail shuffle, do the light, do the light rail shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Come on now, light rail shuffle, it's easy to see. Come on everybody, do the light rail shuffle with me.
I am Maxine Schmidt. I work with the Friends of the Kirkbride, along with my husband Gene, as a tour guide. So this was the apartment of Superintendent William and his wife Marguerite. My secret art is playing the organ. Music has always been such an important part of my life, whether it was singing or playing. And I broke my wrist a few years back, so I couldn't play for a while. But I did, instead of going to therapy, I said I'm an organist, and so they said, that'd be wonderful therapy, you just go ahead and play. So I did. And on our tours, I have everybody come in this little area, and I stand here, and then I open the door and say, welcome to my new home. And then I hear, wow, oh, can I be your roommate? Many people don't know what a Kirkbride building is. It is named after Dr. Thomas Kirkbride, who was a physician in Pennsylvania in the 1800s who took care of mentally ill people. The main tower building that we are in was built in 1895. The building was entirely vacated in 2009. The final chemical dependency patients moved out and followed shortly thereafter by the administration. Historic preservation is important, and landmarks are important. It gives us a sense of identity of where we came from. This Kirkbride building was a major part of the growth of Fergus Falls. Many, many people worked here. Many, many people have a huge connection to this building and what took place here. This was the administration area. Over there was Dr. Patterson's office. Our tours have been extremely popular. We have had over 9,000 people take our tours. So we have a lot of fun doing this. It's very interesting, and we have learned so much. Well, I do consider it a God-given gift as far as my musical talents go. And I feel it is important to share your talents. Music is therapy. Music has always been part of my therapy as well. When I'm upset, I can sit down at the organ and be relaxed.
We've seen and heard from so many amazing local artists tonight, haven't we? Yes? Well, one of the toughest things for an artist to do can be to put a price on what they create. Luckily, Springboard caught up with some artists and learned some tips for taking the guesswork out of putting a price on their art.
I think when I started out, I was probably charging too little. But you know, when you're starting out as an artist, you don't know how to kind of gauge your time. So you believe that other artists or other people won't value your work, so you're going to price it really low.
I used to think that any gig is a good gig, and I used to say, as long as I cover my expenses, I'll be fine. There was this nagging fear in the back of my head that, oh, if I ask for money, they're just not gonna go for me.
I discovered well into my career that I was underselling my work, and the reason I realized that was because I always had less money in my bank account than I was putting into the work itself.
I never thought about like tracking my times or my hours. Once I started to do that, it gives me an average, like how long it takes me to do a watercolor and how long it takes me to do an acrylic.
And then I also work in the cost of the materials as well as my overhead costs. And then I really do try and build in a profit margin to every piece that I make.
And after I've made the initial contact with a promoter and we're talking about hiring me, then I can throw out prices. And I always preface my list of prices with a statement that says, I can probably work with whatever is in your budget. Having said that, here's what I aim for.
It took me many years to come up with a formula to see what works. Once you know your process and how fast it takes you to do something, it'll be easier to price things.
But then the second part of pricing, I think, has to do with market research and understanding what any given art object is valued at within a certain context. And that is the tricky part.
The value of what I do as a performer is a little bit dependent on the venue's budget, and the region that I'm performing in. If I'm driving to Chicago to play a gig, I'm not going to do it for $100. It's just not worth the time. So I have to take that all into account when I'm listing pricing.
Making those mistakes is important, but then also learning very quickly from those mistakes so that it doesn't turn into something that is demoralizing and really discouraging when so much energy goes into the production of a piece of art and it's not returned to you in a valuable way.
I've learned to value myself because if I make money from what I do, I can continue to do what I do. I have to make a living in order to keep putting my art out there. That's what it comes down to, sharing art with people, being able to do that.
That's TV Takeover for tonight. A big thank you to Springboard for the Arts for being such an awesome partner. Did you have a good time, Laura?
We had a great time.
Good, good. Be sure to join us next Friday with a new partner, northernlights.mn. We'll be, yes, you can cheer for them. We'll be throwing a mini Northern Spark Festival right here in the studio. And remember, you can be a part of this whole experience too by joining us for the party. All you have to do is head to tvtakeover.net and pick up a ticket. Good night, and we're gonna take a selfie. Yes. All right, get in there.
TV Takeover is supported in part by an award from the National Endowment for the Arts. Artworks. The Knight Foundation. and the Blythe Brenden Fund of the Ted and Dr. Roberta Mann Foundation, proudly supporting the arts in Minnesota.